and welcome to the Hired Gun podcast with your host, the Hired Gun. First, like, strive, share. So, how y'all doing, y'all? It's been a little while because got a cold. What I'm gonna probably start doing when I can't make a date is probably just post a update on the channel. So I had a cold like a couple days, like 3 days. And just getting over it, still kind of recover a little, but I'm back, y'all. I'm back. So let's get into wrestling. Troy Miguel is in TNA again. Now, I don't know if I talked about that last time. I talked about him getting released, right? So I don't know if I talked about him getting signed back with TNA. Now we know this is not a long term deal here. It's probably a short term deal. So meaning he probably could sign somewhere else. And I hope he goes to NXT. I really do. I really do. I really do hope he goes to NXT. Troy Miguel is a real good talent. So saying that now even though people were saying this is not the case here, right? Now, him being fired like this by AEW, now, there is another theory out there of what happened. And the theory is that, Troy Miguel used to date MJF's wife. And that could be a problem. Now, some might say, nah, that's not the case because he went to bat for Zach, and everything. And that's his homeboy and everything. Nonetheless, but I'm happy Troy Miguel is back in TNA. Like he had more success in TNA as a single wrestler than he did as a tag or as a group. Like I said before, but I'm a fan of Troy Miguel. I really am, and I think he can do more in NXT than his homeboys did. But that's just me. Now, what I will say about Troy Miguel gets hurt a lot. All right, like I think this year he was hurt twice this year, different injuries. All right, that's the only thing I can have negatives to say about Trey Miguel when it comes to his pro wrestling career. When it comes to like in ring career and stuff, he gets hurt a lot. You know, Saturday night's main event happened on Saturday. Probably the best show they ever had. I think I like that show better than I like the John Cena show. And the John Cena show was good. Alright? But probably the best show they have had since they came up with these things. Came back with these things. I say came come up with these things because this is not a new uh this is not a new thing they got going on here. You know? But Troy Miguel, not Troy Miguel, sorry. They had a real good outing. Now, so, everybody knew this Cody versus Jacob Fatu was not gonna finish. All right, so why even started? Right? I mean, as a match, right? They still had a good 15-minute, 20-minute brawl, like it was a match. Alright, and then Drew still came out and did his thing. Alright, so it still serves its purpose. Alright, we're looking at a three-way dance probably at the Rumble. No, not at the Rumble. I'm sorry. Probably at WrestleMania or Elimination Chamber. One of these things will happen. Right? Right? And then For anybody who thought that Sammy was going to win that fatal four-way, you have lost your mind. It was in Montreal. And this ain't the days of Vince where these things happen and it's a birthday or their hometown and they lose. This don't happen like that all the time. Even though Finn lost in his hometown, his home country, but it was for a title. I'm quite sure if it was a number one contender ship and they wasn't doing a story. I mean, there wasn't mid in the story with Finn in the Judgment Day and what's gonna happen because I told y'all that Raquel and Roxanne and Lil was gonna win because there's more to tell about this situation. What's gonna lead up to the Rumble? I'm telling you this now. It's definitely gonna lead up to the Rumble. That Liv is gonna eliminate somebody from the Judgment Day. One of the girls, right? To add more drama to the field. Now it may not be blunt, right? Or it might not be on point. Like not on point. It might not be on purpose. That's the word, on purpose, right? It could be an accident that happens, right? Right. So let's not get into it's gonna be on purpose that love eliminates somebody on purpose. Nah, it's probably will be by accident. All right. But so going into that, that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. But Samuels was gonna win for the four way, and I don't know who they thought was gonna win that. Right? Because you can't have heel on heel. Like think about this. Damian Priest is not gonna win the fatal four way. Alright? I mean, I'm not saying they can't have that match because they can have it. They can have that match because there's a story already built into it that Damian Priest won against like the last time Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre had a match. Damian Priest won. It was a cage match, if I'm not mistaken, and Damian Priest won. Right? So like I'm not saying there's not a story built into that situation because it is. Alright, but they like I said they in Montreal, and then the Royal Rumble is in Saudi, which another place that Sammy's over, way mad over it. Alright, there's no way Sammy wasn't going to win that match, and you wasn't going to do Trick versus Drew McIntyre because it's Hill versus Hill. Even though Trick probably would get cheered on the interest alone. But and speaking of Trick Williams, he had a real good outing and he did real good in that match. So for people who say they don't see and this is coming from me who is not a fan of Trick like that. I mean I'm not a fan of certain people like Trick. Alright, Trick Williams. But saying that, if he keeps biting off Boogie T and his moveset, we not gonna have this problem with me not liking Trick Williams. Because as far as I'm concerned, he can keep biting off Boogie T all he wants when it comes to his moveset. Alright, keep doing that. Like keep take you from Boogie T's moveset. Like it's not a problem. It's not a problem. If Boogie T knows it's happening, it's not a problem. Alright? And then, you can tell by the commentary that they're going for that with Trick Williams. Alright? And the more and more he develops into that role, the more and more he will get comfortable in the ring. So I understand what they're doing with Trick Williams. I really do. it's just too soon for him to fight for a belt. I mean that belt. Now, do I see him costing um, Sammy at the Rumble? Yeah, I do. Now, for the people, that's like I want you to think about this situation. Who got pinned in that fatal four way? It wasn't Church. It was that still wasn't Sammy because Sammy won, right? It wasn't Randy Orton. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. It was Damian Priest. Now, I'm not saying Damian Priest won't get a title shot eventually, because he will, because the backlash is in Puerto Rico again. So, so he's gonna get a title shot eventually. Eventually, he will get a title shot. All right, but it just shows you how he has fallen per se. All right, because if this was like 6 months ago, he wouldn't have got pinned. He wouldn't have got pinned, and probably Trick Williams would have got pinned. But they just to show you who's on the totem pole right now. Who's higher up on the totem pole. All right, and it just shows you who's high up right now. All right, and who they don't want to get pinned and who they do want to get pinned. You know. And Damian Priest just came off a win against like Anderson Black. So they even more tells you that how they feel about Trick Williams. But Sammy won. Now Sammy's not winning the belt at the Royal Rumble. That's not happening. But this gives you more details. You know where they're headed. You know, but good show, real good show. Not done, not done. So probably the best match on the show was the AJ Styles versus Shinsuke matchup, and that match got added to the show less than 24 hours, and it was the best deal on the card. Alright, it's probably the best match they ever had in WWE. I'm not gonna say New Japan. Or ever. That's not true. The match they had in New Japan. Sorry, the match they had in New Japan was better. But this is probably the best match they had in WWE. No, to me it is. To me it is. Now, after this, and after the show's over with, we got details of Shinsuke running his mouth and saying that he asked AJ when is he gonna retire, and AJ said he's choosing the Royal Rumble to retire. Now, I was already feeling that this was it. Alright, because I've been saying this when he retired, when Gunther retired, um, when he retired, Cena. I said AJ is next. Alright? Because we're gonna put stuff on the resume now. For Gunther. Alright? Alright? So this happened. And am I mad that it happened? Is that not happening? No, because AJ already told us weeks ago. I mean, John, not even AJ. John Cena said it. That AJ does not want a retirement tour like Cena. And then what makes sense that, it'd be, I think they said 10 years? However many years it is since AJ has been in WWE. Alright, so he debuted in the Rumble and he's gonna end it at the Rumble. So it makes sense. It just makes sense, looking for a good match. I really am. But AJ's gonna retire at the Rumble. Now, unless he said signed an extension, and we just don't know because his contract also ends this month. Can he go to TNA for a little while? Maybe, maybe, maybe. But his contract ends um this month. So he's and his last match is gonna be against Gunther. You know, um, and he's just ready. He's just ready. This is why him and Dragon Lee dropped the belts so soon. You know, this is why everything's been gearing up for that. But like he said, he didn't want a retirement for it. He didn't. Like he didn't. So it's just time. It's just time. It's just time for him to hang him up. You know, and there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, listen. Am I gonna feel some type of way Saturday? Yeah, I am. I am because I'm a fan. I'm a fan first, but I understand it. That don't mean I don't understand it. That don't mean I'm not gonna understand it because of the fact that what's happening. Because that's not true. Because I do know. I understand it. Is it gonna hurt? Yeah. Yeah. Like AJ is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Period. So yeah. So I'm looking forward to the Royal Rumble. I am. Uh, I guess I will get into my positions for Wednesday when I come back on. Um, because not for Wednesday or Thursday when I come back on. All right, but I'm looking forward to Saturday. I am. I'm looking forward to tonight to see what's happening with you. To talk to the fans about the Royal Rumble match. But like we know he's retired. I mean, we know it. You know, like if this shit comes as a shock or why now? No. He said he's gonna retire this year. He never gave a date. But since they kind of ruined that, but we knew that this was it. Once he put his career on the line, this was it. Now, again, things could change, and he probably can sign an extension to wrestle up until Mania, and it's there, but I doubt it. I doubt it. And then Gunther can go fight. He can go fight Goldberg. Let it work. He can go fight Brock afterwards. To I think is leading up to him fighting Brock. I think that's his next person he's gonna fight. We'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna end the show with that because still getting over this cold. You guys can hear it, off and on. But make sure you got like, subscribe, share. Make sure you leave a comment. Make sure you guys just watch wrestling and watch E-Feds. This is the Hired Gun podcast. This is the Hired Gun. Love y'all. I'm out.